All right, guys. Welcome to the Twitch stream, week 6 of our project that we're working on. Sorry, I'm just making my cup of tea. All right, so yeah, morning everyone. Bit of a time change, so yeah, hope that hasn't caused any problems or whatever. But yeah, got a pretty busy day today. Got another big workshop on in the afternoon, so I just thought I'd sort of Twitch stream a bit earlier today. So yeah, without too much extra talking, let's just kind of get straight into it. So I'm just making sure that we are going live here. Okay, cool. I'm just going to refresh my little page. Sorry. All right, cool. All good. I was just getting the idle screen in my page, so I was like, oh, is it working? All right, cool. All good. So let's just kind of get started on this. Now, last week I was a bit sick. I was a bit under the weather. So yeah, this was not a good week. This is pretty rubbish. So let's kind of keep working on this, right? I think I've made a big gigantic mess of this kind of scene. It's like super slow. So I kind of want to go back in with a bit of a different game plan and just kind of fix up a lot of this stuff. So let's just kind of do that first. There were some cool kind of shapes that I had, but I think I want to kind of fix it up first and then kind of, you know, get back into it and go from there. I'm going to sort of add some textures and we'll just get this looking like way better. So let's just do all that. Anyway, so I'm guessing all this stuff is kind of in this group, and I'm just going to go through and actually delete a whole bunch of this stuff. I'm just going to go through, delete. There's a better way of doing this, I'm sure. But yes. Oh. Let's just hide that landscape there. So that, delete all these guys. Yeah, because like it was just taking up lots of memory. These are my original parts. No, they're right. They're all like duplicates as well, I think. So let's just delete all of those guys. Delete all of this. Delete all of this stuff. Sorry, losing my voice. All right, delete. What's this one here? Delete. All right. Okay, just gonna get rid of a few of these copies, but keep some of this stuff. All right. And the other thing I'm thinking is like I might just kind of like this thing's going to be so far away that we're really not going to see a lot of this stuff. So I'm still thinking exactly what we're going to do with this. But anyway, we'll just keep going from here. So I'm thinking with these really big pieces, like I really want to like just decimate them a lot. And, you know, kind of just play, you know, yeah, just decimate all of these guys a lot, just so we've got a bit way lighter geometry. Because I think when we're kind of Alt H, that'll bring everything back. When we kind of start to, you know, render all this stuff out and everything, yeah, we don't need some of these details when I'm sort of thinking about this a little bit more. So what I'm going to do here is let's just try and make all this stuff a little bit lighter. I can't remember what I did last week because, like I said, I was a little bit under the weather. So yeah, so let's just let's just try and sort all this out a little bit more. So what I'm going to do here is, it looks like I have done some decimation and stuff. So, but let's just try this again. So I'm going to go back and I'm just going to go tab on here. And like, yeah, okay. It's like not too bad. So let's just try like another voxel remesh there, 0.7. Let's see what happens and go into tab. All right, so that's not making too much difference. So let's try that with like 1 meter. So basically I'm just clicking on this green object data properties tab. And this is really cool how you can now like kind of, it's like Dynamesh in Zbrush, where it kind of reassigns all the polys and makes all the, you know, the mesh kind of work a little bit better here. So let's do that, voxel remesh. All right, and I think, like, I mean, it's going to be fine. It's sort of mucking up some of this stuff, and maybe we can fix some of that stuff later. But anyway, that's pretty cool. And then what I'm going to do is just run a modifier over it, and let's try a decimate modifier. It is good to run the voxel remesh first before you do the decimate, so do it in that order, because you know, it redistributes all the polys and then it makes the decimate work way better. So at the moment you can see our face count's like 168,000 polys for, you know, kind of not much more than a brick. So we just need to like, yeah, let's just bring this like way down. All right, and let's see what happens. And like you can see here, nothing's really changing that much. So let's just keep bringing this down. Not 0.05. Let's try that. There we go. So what's our face count there? All right, so let's just keep 0.02. What is that going to do? Let's try 0.1. Why not? All right, I think that's kind of okay. But that's way lighter than like a few 100,000 polys. All right, so anyway, we'll work this out. I'll show you guys. It'll be okay. So if I just hit like tab now on this, you can see here that, yeah, we're you know, it's a lot lighter on the polys here, and maybe we can even try like a remesh on this as well. So let's go apply. I could, it may a multi-user data. I don't know what that means. Is that because I've duplicated this? Potentially. Let's have a look here. Let's see what happens if I do this now. Apply. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna let's like undo that. Can I? Let's see if I can undo that. Undo. Oh, we're in the land of 3D where there's all this crazy stuff going on. Let's just make this 0.05. Just see if we can get this looking like a little bit better. So I'm just going to hit apply on that, and then just see if we can kind of like decimate it again. I'm just going to go on the voxel remesh and just let's try like 2 meters and see what happens. This may not work. Nah. That looks not that great. Undo. Hey, I don't know, Blabby. So basically, yeah, if you haven't been here for the past streams, essentially we're just going through like a whole process from start to finish. So basically we started off in Photoshop, just doing like some thumbnails, right, and working out kind of a composition for what we want to do for this whole piece, and then basically taking this through to like a production level, you know, kind of concept art painting. So then I've sort of moved into 3D code, been designing out kind of this this world. So it's medieval versus Egyptian, transition, designing a whole bunch of stuff in 3D Coat, and then kind of moving into Blender and starting to put it all together. So yeah, that's kind of the process of where we're at now. So yep, so this is what we're doing. So let's basically go back to like 1.2. So I'm just going to mess around with this Voxel remesh. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's looking a bit better. So I think that'll be fine, because remember, these things are going to be like really small off in the distance. So yeah, and we just want to try and apply this to all of these little, you know, kit bashy parts that we've got. So let's do that. Right, sorry, I'm thinking about a few things at a time. Let's go back to Decimate, see if we can do another one on top here. So 0.05, let's like try that again. Let's try like 0.2. Cool. So that's looking pretty good. Let's go okay. And yeah, and then I think if we then run a, let's try like running that voxel remesh on here again. Let's try. And then go tab. Oh, that's going to bring all those polys back. All right, so let's not do that. Let's undo that. Undo. It's like, as I'm kind of getting into this more and oh, I just want to undo that. Undo. All right, way less polys anyway. We're getting there. I'm just going to do another decimate here. And just kind of like really see how far we can push this down. So let's go apply. Then we can sort of fix these things up. Yeah, like I was saying, as I'm sort of using Blender more, I could just make these things in Blender so much easier. There's some stuff that's still really good in 3D Coat, like some of this gear here, but I kind of yeah, I'll show you later how we could probably, you know, use that more to our advantage. Anyway, all right. The other thing I'm going to do is like, let's get rid of let's get rid of all of these bits here. All of these little pillars. So if I hit, so I've merged all this together, right? But if I go into tab and then hit P, that'll let me separate it by loose parts. So I click on that. Oh yeah, Jaden, of course. Yep. So I click on that and that'll basically pop out all these parts. Now if I go hit tab, I should be able to like kind of select all of these guys. So yeah, that's cool. Let's just get rid of all of these because these are making my thing really bogged down. And let's just work on some like better solutions for all of this stuff. Anyway, sorry, this will get there. I'm really confident, like kind of by the end of the stream today, this will be looking pretty cool and we'll be on the right track. But oops, delete. It's cool. It's, you know, this is art, right? We're going to make some mistakes from time to time. Learning. Oh. Ugh. No. Oh. Shift right click will basically put that cursor there so we can rotate around that a little bit better. Oh, where am I going? What am I doing here? What's that one? Come on. We'll get there. Oh, painful. It's probably just a better way to hide everything else. Ugh. Oh, don't select that. Oh, what's going on? Let's hide all of this stuff, hey? Oh, hit G. Okay, here we go. We're gonna sort this out. Wait. We are going to sort this out. Hopefully. I just want to select these pillars. Come on. Delete. Oh boy. Still got some more here. Oh, I see there's like a little nook there. That's why it was. Alright. Okay. Whew. Okay, let's go Alt H. That should bring everything back. Alright, so let's go through. Start working on this stuff. Alright, same thing with this one. Maybe if I just hit tab, go in and just, oh, no, all right. Just gonna hit P by loose parts. All right, let's jump out of there. Just hide all this stuff again. Just hiding it so I can kind of select these things quickly. This will be a bit easier this time. Delete. Delete. Hopefully we can get rid of, oops. Hopefully we can get rid of lots and lots of like polys that I've mistakenly put in. P by loose parts. I may even have to, did I even select that? What do I do with this one? Oh, I don't know. What's that? When you use P to separate by parts in edit mode, does it automatically undo your merge? Yeah. Yep. So it does. I'm not sure what is going on with this one though. But having said that, like, this is probably one of those pieces where it's like, you know what, let's just kind of quickly remodel this in Blender because it's going to be super easy, and then it's way kind of lighter on. So let's just kind of hide everything else so we can just get rid of all of this. Literally take us 2 seconds to do. So let's go Shift A, cube. Just do this over here. All right, so like, I don't think I've even really kind of gone over this. So I will have a little bit, but maybe not stack. So yeah, essentially just doing some quick little modeling in Blender, right? So we can scale, so we can hit S, right? Just drag that up, and G, we'll move that down, and then S, we can, you know, scale. But if we want to scale along a particular axis, then we can just hit the corresponding X, Y, or Z on the keyboard, and that will scale that that component up, right? So that's pretty cool. And then I'm just going to go into tab, because then basically that will go into edit mode. And then what I can do is we can, you know, start kind of actually editing this stuff. Now I'm going to click this button here, which is toggle X-ray. It's basically like we'll select the back faces. Yeah, so kind of similar thing in 3D Coat, right? Where you kind of have that depth limit. So now if I hit, or let's just click on this one here. Sometimes I like sort of controlling this like that. So basically, yeah, we just want to, you know, make this shape, right? So pretty simple, right? Just kind of making that shape there, and then we can do the same sort of stuff that we're doing on this one here in 3D Coat. So I just hit E for extrude, and that will extrude up a little, you know, shape there. And then what we can do is we can go hit I, and that'll like kind of inset. So a similar thing to like scaling down in 3D Coat, and then we hit E, right? And then we can hit, what do we want to do? Let's go E again, and go S, scale, and that'll just like scale it up. And then we hit E again. So we're just sort of getting those similar things that we were doing in 3D Coat. And then I'm going to hit I. No, actually, let's not do that. Let's go E and scale, right, and get this like top piece. E. Yep, and just something like that, right? And we're pretty close to kind of what we had before. Right, so pretty similar. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So I'm just going to turn X-ray mode off. Just go back here. It's a bit like proportions slightly different, but you know, it's just a triangle shape. It's nothing too exciting. I'm not too worried about that. So yes, and then what we can do, sorry, I'm just always reading chat at the same time as talking, so it's a little bit tricky. So you've got your kind of like vertex mode there, your edge select and vertex select, face select, sorry, not vertex, that's that one there, face select. So you've got these, you can use like your 1, 2, 3 on your keyboard, and it will kind of like select those. So yeah, once again, like just look at that Blender Guru tutorials, right? The donut. He really goes in depth into all of this stuff, which is fantastic, right? So now what I want to do is I want to add in like an extra edge loop, so I can kind of do this little bit here. So let's just go Control R, right? And once I do Control R, you kind of like move around the model. If I go in the center, we'll bring up that straight line there. And now we'll bring up this one here and just click. And then once you click, you can move the edge loop up and down, which is like really cool. So we can move it around. So we just go there. Just going to zoom in a little bit. Just go click on this one, go Control R again, right? And that'll basically bring up another one, another edge loop. And then we can move this down here, all right, like that. And then that's pretty cool. So then what I can do, well, what just happened? We just zoomed in really far for some reason. So now I basically just want to select these faces. So, and then I just hold Alt and near that edge of that face there, and it will select that whole like edge loop around. And then what I want to do is here, I want to like inset this. So it's like the 3D Coat little one that we did. So I go, what I'm going to do here, the way this is going to work is I want to hit Alt E. That'll bring up this little option for extrude. I want to extrude faces along normals. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't know what happened there. Alt E, extrude faces along normals, and then we just want to like drag that down. No, okay, all right. Let's try S, just for like a scale. All right, and that's gonna work. All right, so don't worry about the extrude along normals. That one didn't work there. All right, so yep, cool. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So we basically got that same shape, and it's probably like, you know, 50, you know, I don't know, 200 polys or something, right? Instead of whatever this one is. Yeah, so let's just go and let's go out of edit mode. So I just hit tab. So you hit tab to go in edit mode, tab to go out of edit mode. All right, so just do that. Then click on this, delete. All right, and then Alt H. So now we've got this guy here, and we're just gonna have to kind of re-kit bash some of this stuff again, but that's okay. So what else are we gonna do? All right, so I think these guys are pretty good because we made these, right? Same sort of way. So they're just, yeah, they're great. They're just low poly stuff. What do we got here? That's that one. So let's just delete that guy. All right, and let's just shift. Let's do, you know what I want to probably do is like, I probably want to like texture these little parts up, right? So that then they're all kind of textured. So I'll just let's keep doing that. So these parts are all okay. That part's all okay. What about this guy? I think this is a bit of a culprit at the moment. I actually, like, he's pretty good, right? So I've done a voxel remesh on that, so that's good. So, but let's maybe run decimate over it just to get it even more low poly. It's 38,000. That's pretty good. So let's just see what we can do. Just something there, right? That'll do. Let's go apply. All right, so that one's better. What's that? That's a cube, something or other. I don't know what. That's probably to control the texture or something. Let's get rid of that guy. Actually, I'm not going to get rid of them just yet because sort of things are working a little bit better now. This one's going to be the main culprit here. We're going to work out what we're going to do with this whole thing. But yeah, we'll just have to break it down and take it easy. So what about these? All right. So I've got these triangular shapes here, those ones over there, that's all cool. All right, so let's go through and maybe like just texture up some of these parts kind of quickly and do that. So the reason why I want to texture those parts up is like when I duplicate them, then they'll have that texture applied to them. Whereas if I start duplicating them all now, then I'll have to like kind of, yeah, go through and like kind of texture them all. We can link them, but it's just going to be quicker if we do it like this, right? So anyway. So let's do some of this. So what I'm going to do is like, we're going to texture this a slightly different way. And I think this will be pretty cool. I think, do I have different landscapes here? I did. What have I got in here? Oh yes, I see. So there's all different little landscape pieces I had in here. So I think this is all over the place. I can't remember. I'm just going to quickly, let's do a really quick render just to see what was going on. Yeah, and if you got any questions, guys, just let me know. I now have, yeah, all these videos are up on the YouTube channel. I don't know if Nathan's there. Maybe if you can post a link to the YouTube channel, that'd be pretty cool. And yeah, well, we're missing lots of stuff here. What happened? What happened? We need, oh, it's the world HDRI. That's what happened. So object world. What did I have? Surely we can find that. I know where that is. Let's put it in here. Stuff folder, Blender, Lake side. It was that one, wasn't it? All right, let's add that in. There we go. Less pink. All right, less pink. Yeah. So yeah, we've got all these like YouTube videos from all the previous weeks of the Twitch stream. So if you kind of want to follow along from start to finish, like it's all there, right? So yeah, let's go in and have a look at some of this stuff. Kind of close up. I can't remember what we did here. So let's just check it out. What did I do? What do these things even look like? Man, I was pretty out of it last week. All right. Yeah, these look lame. I think what I did was I just, we just textured up this bit and then I just applied all of that across. Anyway, whatever. Let's just fix it all. Let's make it good. All right. So let's go back into this mode here. Think once we kind of get all these like polys down and stuff, this will, yeah, once we delete a whole bunch of this stuff, it will work better. So anyway, but let's keep going here. All right, so I'm just going to do this part first because this is like a whole new one that we've kind of, yeah, gotten rid of. Okay, let's texture this. Let's do it a bit differently with these UV editor kind of thing, which is pretty cool. So all right, now just bear with me. We've probably got to set a little bit of stuff up once again. Just take a little bit of setting up, but once it's done, it's going to look pretty cool. So what I want to do here, all right, let's add a new material to this. So we're going to add a new material. So this, yeah, this process is pretty cool. What I want to do here is I've got a whole bunch of textures. Textures. Here we go. Just want to see what they are. All right, and this is like the Egyptian stuff. So yeah, let's add some textures to this. I'm going to try and create something in Photoshop. So we're going to go back into Photoshop for a bit here, but let's do this. So I'm just going to bring in, sorry, you guys can't see the screen. Sorry. All right, so I got a bunch of like textures here. I got them from textures.com. You can sign up and they give you like 15 credits a day. Like you just sign up for free, they give you 15 credits a day, and then you can download all of these textures. So let's just, I'll show you. Textures.com. This site's been around for ages and ages. Really cool. There's like so many textures here. Just pretty much everything you can ever imagine is here. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, but if you sign up, they give you 15 credits a day, and like each one of these is like 1 credit each, let's say. So yeah, so you can download plenty of stuff. All right. So let's just open this one. Open with Photoshop. All right, and what I want to do is like kind of make this to kind of fit what we're doing in terms of like scale and stuff. So this needs a bit of help, right? We've got this one, and this is where like your Photoshop skills kind of come into play here in terms of like doing some 3D stuff, right? So let's kind of do this because we kind of want to get that scale, right? So I'm just going to grab this one, and let's like zoom in here a little bit. Let's just select everything else. Shift I. I'm just gonna cut that out. Paste it. Paste it again. All right, drag it across, and these textures are kind of like seamless textures. So they've already done like lots of the work for you, which is really cool. And basically, what I'm going to do is just do this stuff. Do the stuff. All right. Okay, so it's looking pretty cool. It's a pretty massive wall, so we're just, why not? You just want to get that scale right. So I think that we kind of want, oh, I can see a bit of a line there. Let's undo that little merge. Just drop that down there. All right. And yeah, I think like that scale is going to look better. So like when you're doing your textures, and this is like tons of feedback that I've given students when they're kind of doing their presentations in kind of like 3D bootcamp and stuff that we run here at CW Studios. So basically, you know, a lot of the comments to students are always about like, you know, getting those oh, we've got a bit of a line here again. So I'll do is getting the scale of the textures right. You know, it really does kind of like sell what you're trying to do better when you do get that scale. I'm just going to go to Blender really quickly. There we go here, Blender. All right, let's go back here. How big is pretty wide, not that tall. All right, and then I wanted to, you know how like in 3D Coat we're doing like sort of decal, you know, decals and things. Yeah, I've been working out in Blender some kind of cool ways to do some of that stuff. So let's do that, which is a bit like way less polys and things. So much better on your kind of your system. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And then what I might do is like, let's get some of these like hieroglyphs, you know, this kind of stuff in here and put this on some of our walls. So let's do that. And we could even use like some of the things that we made, right? So, you know, we might maybe try that as well. Let's try that because it'd be a shame to waste all of that stuff. However, like this stuff is so small. It's going to be so small off in the distance that it probably doesn't really matter. Like it's just a bit of sort of detail on here, right? So what I'm going to do here is like just kind of put this, yeah. And I'm thinking with this yellow, let's grab all of this and just tone down the saturation a bit here. Just get it to that. You know, to the similar kind of thing of those little hieroglyphs. Just grab those. So they're not matching up, but they will. So if we just like flip it, so flip horizontal, so just transform, flip horizontal, voila, it matches. Just make sure there's no like seam in there. Grab these. There we go. And then what I might sort of do is just maybe just paint a little bit on here. Not that much. Try and get one of these darker tones. Just trying to get this like little seam working a little bit better. Just adding little breaks in here. Like I'm just trying to replicate this through. The piece. And then we're going to like apply this as kind of like a UV, a really dodgy UV, where we don't have to do any UV, any actual UVs. Because oh my god, they're like a pain in the ass. But this stuff's going to look really cool, and we can spend a bit of time on this because I know that like I'll be duplicating these around a lot. So if we get it looking good here, then that's really going to be kind of helpful. So I'm just going to go back here, Blender. All right, it's cool. And what I might do here is just like merge that down and duplicate it. So we've kind of got another one. Just sort of get it sitting on that brick. I might actually just make this one like a little bit thicker. Let's put that there. That's cool. Just some extra little details. So yeah, just bear with me here. This will look pretty cool. Let's just crop that. All right, so now I've kind of got like this kind of wall texture that I think is going to work pretty well. So I'm going to save this out in my textures as a JPEG. I'm just going to call this like a wall brick 01. Very exciting. All right, but what's cool though now is we've got this in our little textures. So there we go, we've got that one. Sweet, looking good. Oh, open that lots of times. Hey, funny story, in like another stream that I was doing where I was showing some Blender stuff, I was having trouble with the scene. Once again, it was last week when I was kind of sick. And I was having trouble with the scene, and when I took it home, I realized that I don't know how, but I duplicated a pillar 10,000 times. I was wondering why Blender was freaking out. That'd be why. Yeah, it was, I don't know what happened. But yeah, anyway, pretty much once I deleted all those, everything went back to normal. I was like, oh, okay, that's good. I'm glad that happened live in a stream. Anyway, okay, so let's go back into Blender. And what we want to do here is we want to grab this material. So I just go, sorry, this texture. Just grab this texture and I just drag it straight into Blender, right? And that'll basically put it as like an image texture in Blender, which is really cool. So then I just want to connect the color to the base color. Okay, that's going to be cool, and it's going to do some stuff. So it's going to actually start like applying it to here, which is pretty cool. So, you know, straight away we've got it kind of, you know, heading in a good direction, right? So then the next step that we want to do is basically I want to change from the shader editor, which is here, this one, and basically turn on the UV editor. I'm going to UV editor and nothing too much happens, right? But what we want to do now is we want to hit tab on our object, and when I hit tab, basically this will bring up this image in our UV editor, right? And it's pretty massive. Probably need to save this out as a different size, but yeah, anyway, this another thing will come back to bite us in the butt, won't it? You know what, I should probably, let's do that. Whatever, it's probably not that big anyway. All right, so yeah, now basically we can start like kind of applying this, which is pretty cool. So if I just basically get this to be like a front-on view of this here. So what I want to do is I just want to select all the faces that are facing us at the moment, which is really easy. So we're just on face mode, we just grab over the whole thing, right? And I don't want to select any of the side edges, we just want these front-on ones, right? And then the next step is you hit U on your keyboard and you want to go down here to project from view. So basically we project from view, and you can see when I do that, it's actually like starting to, you know, look sort of half decent, right, already. But remember, this is the scale thing. If I leave it like this, the things are going to start looking miniature and stuff. So I really want to get the scale right. So you can see down here in my UV editor, this took about a little bit of took me a little moment to get my head around, right? Which is, so I want to select this and I'm like, oh shit, how do I move it? Where's like the toggles to move or anything? Well, you just go use the Blender hotkeys, right? So so basically G will just grab it and move it around, right? S will scale the whole thing up. So basically what we want to do is we want to scale this up so it just, yeah, sits here. And then what we can do is we just move that around until we get those like glyph sort of hieroglyph type things just in the right spot, right? So it's pretty cool, but we've got heaps of wiggle room on this texture, so it's great. So now if I go like this, you can see that it's looking pretty cool. And if we go tab out of here, there we go. So you can see now that, well, so you can see now that this is looking pretty cool. And when we like render this, I'm just gonna hide, let's hide some of these other components so that when we're rendering, it's just gonna render it on the water. Whatevs. But yeah, let's render this really quick and hopefully, yeah. So yeah, you can see there, right? Whoa, cool, looking awesome. So, but if I rotate around this, we've got some problems. We've got a few problems, right? Not too many problems, but we've got some problems. So we just need to fix that. So you just need to go through and basically like assign, you know, all of the little bits and pieces. So let's just go and do that really quickly. Shift. All right, we're rotating around that a bit better now. So just shift right click, that'll change that 3D cursor, and then we rotate around the cursor. Sometimes you have to like change some options in here just to get it to kind of like work right, especially when I've been making a big kind of scene, but anyway, we're okay here. So let's just select the side, and yeah, the little tricky bit will be kind of like lining these ones up. So, but we'll just, let's just try this first. All right, so come in here, we hit tab, we select those faces, right? And then basically we just come down here and we go S for scale, and we know that it's kind of like somewhere around there. And there. Now you can see what's going on, right? It's kind of like flipping it around, so we just need to rotate it so it's right. So we need those guys to be up the top. We'll just try and do this like 90 degrees, or you know, close-ish. It's not going to matter too much. Like this sort of technique is like pretty forgiving, which is very cool. And then we can just like, yeah, rotate around here and just come back into the editor. Hit G and just like move them around. You can see that I need to make it a bit bigger. Or maybe it's smaller. No, I think it needs to be bigger. It made this smaller. Then we just move this around. Oh, up. All right, there we go. Pretty close. All right, so that's cool. Let's move around to the back. And like I said, once again, like this process will, you know, is not, you know, it's pretty quick for what we're doing, but just hit U, project from view. All right. It's pretty quick for what we're doing, but obviously it takes a little bit of time. But because that we're going to be using this all over the place, right? It is going to be a big time saver. All right, so let's see how they're going, matching up. Pretty good, pretty close. Doesn't have to be exact either, right? Because once again, we're going to be so far away from this that just make sure those other ones aren't selected. Hit U, project from view, come down here, scale this up, and we know it's sort of somewhere up in here. All right, pretty good, pretty close. There we go. So that's looking pretty cool now. So if we render that, it's really quick. You're gonna see that, like, yeah, all that stuff's kind of matching up, looking pretty good. So yep, pretty cool. And then yeah, we can extrude and extrapolate and do all sorts of things as well. Actually, I will show you some of that. Why not? Let's do it. So let's maybe like extrude out some of these other pieces here, where these like hieroglyph kind of things are sitting, right? So what's really cool is in like the UV editor kind of mode, you can adjust your model to kind of like make it fit what you've got going on here. So if I come up to the face option, edge option, just hit Control R, right? And basically what we want to do is we want an edge loop to go in basically exactly there. All right, and then the other thing we want to do is we want to go Control I'll just select here, Control R, and we want to get another one. And oh, hang on, what did I just do then? Oops, undo. Let's go Control R. I did a clicky click when I didn't want to. All right, so we do that, and then basically we've got like another whole edge loop, so we can kind of go in here and go Alt and click, and that'll select that edge loop. All right, and then I think we need to do Alt E, extrude along normals. Oh god, we're gonna, why is this? I know what I've done here. I just want to go out like one little bit. Let's just see if we can just hit S, right, and just pop that out a bit. Anyway, that'll do, right? Yeah, but you can see there now that's like kind of popping that out, right? And it kind of just pulls the UV out. Like, it's really cool, right? So just go back into here and go Control R, and we just do the same thing. Let's go there. All right, and we do Control R again. Oops. Control R, just make sure we're on this, in this area. We just do a bit of that. Just come across here, select this face. Cool, it's got that whole loop around there. Then we're just going to go Alt E. Extrude faces along normals, and then I'm just going to go S. Oh, no, we're just going to go S. All right, and that's going to bring that, pop that out. So once again, when we render this thing, let's have a quick little look at it. Cool, you can see there it's like, yeah, really sort of popping out, looking pretty cool. So yeah, I did, hang on, let's go tab. You can see all the lines around it, but yeah, so you can see they're pretty cool, right? So you can get some awesome looking geometry from that. So oh, what's Cody talking about? Control A, reset scale. Right, yeah, cool, okay, yeah, because I've like, yeah, probably, thanks Cody. Yeah, so we could try that as well. So just Control A, and just reset rotation and scale. Yeah, and then I reckon now let's just see. Let's go back in, try what Cody was talking about. Let's go out of rendered mode. We're doing this, and if I go Alt E, extrude faces along normals, yeah, there we go. Okay, so good. Thanks, Cody. Fixed it. Good man. So yeah, just making sure of that scale and stuff in Blender. But yeah, this is, you know, that's a pretty cool way to like texture things up, right? So yeah, looking cool. All right, let's go Alt H. Bring all these other bits up. So let's once again let's texture some of these other bits as well. So these medieval walls. So I remember I was just throwing a texture on here just so we could have a, you know, see it in a render view how it was kind of looking, just to check all that out. So what we want to do here is we want to go back into the shader editor, and then we had this like stone texture for that stuff, but let's just get rid of all this junk. So let's just minus that material there. It's going to disappear. All right, and then we're just going to do a new one. All right, we've got this material here, and then once again, going to go back into, well, first go here into my textures, and I think this one would be pretty cool. And let's open up this one with Photoshop, and once again, we just want to get the scale right so that we can kind of apply it over the big wall nice and easily, so it's a little bit quicker. So let's just do something like that. All right, just going to select everything else, Control Shift I, Control C, no, Control X, Control V. Then we just got that guy here, just put him down in the corner, and then Alt Shift, that'll just move that across. Normally it leaves that little line there, so just get rid of that. Alt, move it across. So remember, these walls are pretty big, and if we do like a big texture start, then we can kind of use it all over the place. So yeah, it's super useful here. So Alt E. All right, I think that'll be pretty cool. So let's just go in and crop that, and I'm just going to go Control U and just tone the saturation down a bit, and maybe somewhere along there. I'm sort of like, do I want to have some of this in this kind of, no, I think we just want to have it around here. Yeah, something like that. Okay, this is looking pretty cool. So once again, let's save this and call this like castle wall or something. Castle wall texture. Castle wall. Texture. All right. Cool. Actually, I might just image size. No, pixels. All right. Pixels. All right. Let's maybe make this like 3000. So still nice and clear. Very cool, but just save this again as that JPEG castle wall texture. All right, sweet. So once again, let's go back into Blender. Let's bring up my texture. Got my castle wall texture there. All right, and just drag that in here. We just do the same process again. So just set that to the base color. All right, there we go. It's going to like texture that, and you can see because I like duplicated all of those bits, it's all doing the same thing. So you can see like that's going to really come in handy. So when we start really making a city out of this, it really will come in handy. So that's why I'm kind of going through this process now, redoing like a bunch of this stuff, because it's going to save a bunch of time. Let's hide all these things. All right, let's go to my castle wall here. All right, so we've got this one here. All right, let's go to UV editor. All right, and let's go into edit mode. All right, and then it will change. So it's now loading up this image here. So once again, we just want to select those faces. It's already applying it around the place, but we've got to do it to each face. So there may be a shortcut to apply that. Oh, I'm not really sure, but anyway. Yeah, maybe this would work for this one because it's all very similar. Anyway, whatevs. So let's just go in here and select all of this and go scale. Yeah, I've learned that experimenting in the live streams is not the best idea. All right, let's go tab. Oops, you know, so I don't know if anyone knows why that didn't work. I know why it didn't work, because basically I selected, oh, hang on, hit tab, select it all again. Then I have to hit U and project from view. That's the bit I didn't do, right? And then we just go here, scale this up. Pretty simple. G, there we go. Tab, yeah, cool. And now we're getting like our nice little castle wall going on there. It's looking pretty cool. I think that would be, I think that's, the scale's still pretty big, but yeah, I think it's okay. All right, so once again, let's just do all these really quick. Oops, got something else selected there. I don't know what that bit is. Something like this. So this is going to be pretty user friendly with this bit because you're not going to be able to see that stuff. But you can see that big scale change, but not the others, right? So did I do? Maybe I didn't. Hang on, let's just double check this. Oops. Anyway, select all those. You project from view. That's maybe what I didn't do last time, right? Just forgot that again. That would make sense. Just gotta get this in the middle. Rotate this guy around. Select them, you project from view. All right, pretty cool. Let's rotate around. Which was the one I messed up? Can't remember. Messed one of them up. Oops. I think that one's all good. Yep. So that one, no, that's all good. All right, this one, you project from view. There we go. Now we've got that working better. Okay. So if we come out now, there we go. So we've got our little castle wall pieces. Awesome. We've got a bit of like, you know, got that little extrusion there. So you could kind of go through and just, yeah, even change like some of the UVs on that stuff. Like, yeah, you can go through and just UV specific. I'll show you how to do that. Like, we don't need to for this, but I'll just show you how to do it in case you've got some other thing that you need to, that you kind of want to do it for. So if we just like, Alt click, yep. So select that kind of face there. It's gonna select all of them, but that's okay for this. So I just go hit U, project from view, right? And then we can grab this, grab that. And yeah, you can kind of like, you could just be like, I want one row of bricks for this or something, you know what I mean? So we can scale that up and just be like, I want that row of bricks. So something like that there. And if we come out of here and go tab, you can see now, see how that just looks a little bit better because it all kind of like lines up there. And we need to do that for each of those now. But yeah, you can see how that is pretty cool. So I'm just gonna like undo that though, because this stuff is so far away that we are not gonna see that. Is that right? No, undo. Now it's gonna reselect that. All right, there we go. Like I said, you know, it's like a small thing, but if you're making some really specific little prop or whatever that you just, you know, that you kind of like wanted to, you know, be a really specific detail, then that's how you do it. So it's really cool. You can cut in. I'll show you more and more stuff as we kind of go through it, right? So yeah, pretty cool. All right, Alt H. Oops, no. Let's put this down here. Let's go Alt H. Bring everything back. think, no, you got to be out of, I always do this as well. Got to be back in object mode and then go Alt H, and that'll bring everything back. The struggle is real. But, do you guys see what's going on now? We're starting to get all these other bits and pieces getting textured. You know, I kind of really don't like, I don't like the scale of it, right? Like it feels way too big. It's like those stones are gigantic, you know, but these are sort of the medieval wall kind of pieces. So yeah, don't like it. All right, so how are we going to fix that? Well, we can do it pretty quickly. Let's do it because it's going to make a bit of a difference. So what I'm going to do here is go back into Photoshop. I don't really want to make this like image bigger, like as in like 8,000 pixels high and that sort of thing. We don't need to do that. So let's just go into here and select all of this and just shrink it, right, until it's sort of like, you know, a quarter of the size. All right, once again, just move that across there. Duplicate again. I just think you've really got to pay attention to this kind of stuff. Like it'll make these renders look much better if they're kind of, yeah, if the scale's sort of working. We're sort of getting some repeating bits, but I think that it'll be okay. We could muck around with that later if we need to, but yeah, no, I think it'll be alright. So let's go save that as a JPEG. Let's call it castle wall texture. Let's call it castle wall texture small. Save that out as a JPEG. Yep, cool. All right, let's go back into Blender and let's just go back into the material editor. Let's make sure we got that guy selected. Go back into the shader editor. Change this one to the small one. Open, there we go. And that's looking way better. So yeah, I think that, yeah, the scale of that is looking much better now. All right. So let's just hide those bits. Maybe move this guy over here next to this other one. Just hide these just because I want to do a bit of a render. So just hiding like a bunch of that stuff. So I know we got one in the background there, but if we sort of rotate these around. Yeah, you can see here, these are, you know, starting to look a little bit better, right? So it's cool. It's pretty detailed when you kind of go up. Right, little castle wall bits, cool. All right, sweet. Let's go back into, oops, not that one. Alt H, unhide all of that. Okay, so let's try and texture up one of these guys. All right, so I'm thinking with this we can kind of, yeah, mess around with some other stuff. So let's try this again. Let's hide. We've got a rock there. All right. Boop. Hide you. All right. So with this guy, oh, we've got a little landscape there too. Got so much stuff in this scene. All right. So let's get this guy sorted. So yeah, this one's a bit like taller and stuff. So, and let's maybe try and work on some other little hieroglyph kind of elements. I was thinking. Let's see how we go here. All right, so I want to use this one, but once again, we want that scale to kind of work. So with this one here, I'm thinking, let's do something like that, right? And I'm just going to copy and paste. Yeah, you know what? Let's copy and paste all of this. paste that up there. All right. Try E, and I'm going to go back to here. Yep, so we might, yeah, anyway, whatever. I'll show you guys instead of kind of telling you before I do it. Let's go into this one, and I thought this could be pretty cool. I'll just grab these in here, just put them in there. Just thought maybe we could get some of this stuff going on. Might be pretty cool. And like, I haven't thought about this stacks. So, you know, like when we were originally kind of like designing this, I was talking about using some of those like Moroccan style. Let's just raster this. Rasterize layer, right click, rasterize layer. I was talking about doing some sort of like Moroccan inspired kind of stuff. So that, you know, maybe that could be some of these sort of textures that I was like adding in, but it is pretty quick, so we can just, you know, we can add more or less or whatever we kind of need. Right, but let's see how this goes. I think this is going to look pretty cool. Something there, and I might just underneath here just paint in just kind of like inset this a bit. Just paint on this layer on top here. Oh. I think that's just going to look a little bit nicer on the texture there. So, yep, cool. All right. Let's make sure that this is not crazy. So let's make it like 3000 pixels. Like, I think as long as it's like kind of nice and clear, as long as it's nice and clear in Photoshop, it'll look clear in Blender. I was working on another project the other day where I kind of like was working from a big image and kind of UVing something small, and it will kind of get blurry. So you do need to kind of make sure these are nice sort of high quality level textures. But yeah. So let's save this out again as a JPEG. All right, and what are we calling this one? What did I make that one? Wall brick. Wall brick. Let's call it O2. Very creative names. All right, save that out. Let's go back into Blender here, and let's start kind of texturing this element as well. So I've got my material here. So material, just middle mouse button will let me scroll around there. Go back into here, and I'll just throw this one into Blender. It'll come in as an image texture. We just want to plug this color node into the base color, and it's going to start doing some stuff. All right, and then we just need to go to the UV editor. UV editor. All right, and want to go tab. And did I not? Let's go to shader editor. That's all right. Anyway, let's go back into the UV editor. Sometimes this will sort of muck around a bit, and we'll just going to, oops, make sure that I'm front on. That's just probably a bit easier just to make this in Blender, right? Let's go U project from view, all right, and then this new texture will pop up, all right, and let's go S, all right, and we're running into a bit of trouble here. So this is one of the things where like we probably need to kind of think about this a little bit more now. So so how do we want to kind of want to do this? So if I go back into edit mode, right, what I might want to do is just select the faces from, you know, like I can do it really, you know, we can even just go like, let's select this section here, right? And then basically from there I can move this around to where I want it to be. So let's just, so I've got to hit U, project from view, right? And then we go S, and we just get this, you know, bottom part working, right? And be like, okay. Okay, that's where I want that to be. And then we can grab this section here. All right, and move this. Move this stuff around and try and get that scale right on there. So we want those hieroglyphs to kind of be in there. There we go. So that's working pretty cool. Yeah, and like I said, this is where it's sort of like, maybe we could just rebuild this bit in Blender. But anyway, using this janky 3D coat. All right, so come back here, just go U and project from view. Come down here, scale G. We want like, yeah, it's like that kind of stuff there. So something like that. All right, and then we go tab and cool. That's looking pretty cool. Aside from some of this, anyway. The struggles. Maybe we might have to fix those, but we can do that next week. All right, so just go around, texture this thing. So it's a bit kind of like, because it's got this kind of janky geometry. Maybe this would be better with a voxel remesh. Okay, I'm not going to do it now. All right, let's go through here. Tab. All right, what do we do? Do this section first. Just hit U, project from view. That'll tidy all of that up. Go down here, scale. It was like kind of down here somewhere. Then we can just rotate that around. Oh, it's selecting all sorts of junk. No. No. That's going to be frustrating, isn't it? Anyway, all right. Whatever. You know what? For now, let's just leave this like this. We're going to fix these up, but tab H, load everything back up. But yeah, probably from a distance, like it's probably sort of looking okay anyway. We just like hide a bunch of this stuff. Whoop. I selected that guy, didn't I? Yeah, if we sort of imagine, let's do a quick little render. Like it's not horrendous, right? And we're going to be seeing it from, you know, that kind of far away, even further maybe, right? Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's good enough. Certainly good enough for what we need, but we could make it better. All right, what else? Let's do these little walls. So this one, why is that different to those guys? Don't know. Anyway, we'll get rid of all of those soon. But let's do one of these ones quickly. So once again, let's go to the shader editor. You just got to go through and do all these processes. So, yep, new. You know what we could do with this one? Let's try this. Let's just go that one to that one and go Control L and link the materials and just see how that kind of looks okay. It's okay, right? But anyway, we've got that texture in there, so it basically does all that work for us, right? So then what I want to do is click on here and just uncheck this number 2. And once I uncheck that number 2, it won't be linked anymore, but all that information will kind of stay there, which is pretty cool. So once we go back here, just go front on, we just want to hide all of this other stuff. Good, good, and we can link all these up. Oh, is there one behind there? There is. All right. Alright, okay. Got this guy here. Let's bring it to like the front mode. Oh, is there still something? Oh no, that's all right. I get it. Yeah, because we've done some dodgy. I get what's going on. So we've got this here, yeah, which is not that other materials. Now this material. So once again, we just go back to the UV editor, and we want to go in edit mode, and we want to select those faces. U, project from view, right? And it will kind of, yeah, we're all good. So we just go down here. Oops, scale that stuff up. Zoom in a little bit. G. All right, sort of move it around into the middle. All right, once again, shift right click. Then we'll just be rotating around this piece a little bit better here. X. All right, deselect those faces, select them. U, project from view, grab these ones. S. Done. Go around here. Right. U, project from view, select these ones, scale, get it like somewhere in the middle. Done. This one, U, project from view. Jaden, there is a whole bunch of different ones that you can get. The expensive ones are Ergotron. I have some of those, and the other ones are like, I think they're called Silverstone, to mount the Cintiqs. So yeah, you try any of those out for sure. All right, so if we have a look at this now, looking good, looking like some bricks. Wow, exciting. Bricks everywhere. All right, cool. Anyway, that's done. Sweet. Alt H, bring everything back. So we're kind of like getting there now. I've got the kind of elephant room is going to be this whole area here, but yeah, I feel like, what other pieces do I need to texture? These guys, these ones. All right, let's go shift click on this one here, go Control L and link that material, and it's going to kind of stuff up the scale, but that's all good. All right, let's just hide everything else again. Let's do one of these. Shift right click, so we're sort of rotating around there a bit better. Oh. So once again, same thing, just select this, tab, select those faces, U, project from view. Let's move this little window up, go down here, just sort of like this piece is a bit smaller, so just have it a little bit smaller. Just try and keep that scale kind of relatively consistent. Just like rotate around, rotate, rotate, rotate. Select that. You project from view. Come down here. We've got a whole bunch of wacky stuff going on, but it's like the side of that thing we're never going to see. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All right. You project from view. Something like there. Done. This guy, deselect those. You project from view. Alright, something around there. Done. That'll do. So as you kind of get through this, you'll start getting quicker and quicker at these things, which is good. Alright, Alt Tab out of there. Alt H. Oh, we're seeing some rocks really close. Oh, we're around the wrong way. Okay. All right, all good. So what do we got now? All right, we are getting there, getting there. It's that one. I feel like I just, oh, sorry. I feel like I just transformed that one. So I think we can just probably do the same with that. What else have we got? We've got that guy there, which is those ones. All right. Okay, so I think we're heading in like a much better direction now. So I think it's gonna make it like way easier to start kind of scattering some of these pieces and doing that. But I feel like I'm gonna need some kind of like secondary, tertiary shapes on some things, but we'll see how we go. We'll just start kind of trying to get a bit of a layout, right? So I don't really have much like sort of buildings, so I probably need some more, some other kind of smaller buildings and stuff, some medieval style things. But we'll kind of it might be worthwhile sort of designing some of those up next week and doing that. But yeah, I'm just going to have a quick little bathroom break, all right, and then we'll be back and I'll start kind of throwing this city around and getting, oh actually we need to texture up that guy there, so we'll do that and then we'll start kind of building this city up, I think, and seeing how that looks. All right, so yes, I will be right back, guys. All right, I'm back. Let's keep going with this. All right, let's just quickly texture up this one at the back as well. Oops, and also just make sure that this one has. Yeah, I think we fixed all the kind of polys and stuff on this one, didn't we? Except there, like that. Okay, but not too bad. All right, let's just quickly do it. So we've kind of got it in here. All right. Let's hide all this stuff. Hide this stuff, then we can get back to city building. Yay. Let's do that same thing I did before, right? Which is anyway, Alt H, let's unhide that. Let's click on that one, then click on this one, link the two. So materials, link, sort of worked. It worked. So if we go back to the shader editor, yeah, so it's all good. So and then let's go to the UV editor, and then I want to like unlink them just so what I'm changing is not going to mess up this one. Then let's go back and hide all this stuff. Modeling in the ocean again. Probably lots of people wishing they can go down to the beach at the moment somewhere, maybe. Although people in this stream probably do not care about the beach. Just art. All right, let's go back, select this, hit U, project from view. That's weird. Let's bring up that one there, but not this one here. So maybe we just need to change that. Let's try again, project from view. All right, so we can change that here to, oh, which one was it? I can't remember what it's called. Wall brick 2. Yay. All right, so but also again remember, like, this is a big kind of piece, so we just want to like no. So maybe just select areas. All right, so hit U, project from view, S, because we want to control that scale. We want this one to look nice and big. Hit G. All right, something like that. And probably the rest of it, we just want the bottom section. Probably gonna have to do some sort of pieces. Hang on, is that doing some weird? Yeah, it's doing some weird stuff. There. Alright, let's get rid of those guys. So hopefully this will work. You project from view. This is a bit kind of dodgy, isn't it? So I'm sort of like learning more about this process of like, you know, 3D coat bits and working in Blender, right? And what I'm sort of starting to like understand it a little bit more is just there's a time and a place for the kind of like 3D coat and the Blender kind of stuff. So when you're doing things that are up close, like that's where we could kind of use the 3D coat assets. But when you're kind of when you're doing stuff that's far away like this, it's sort of much quicker to, or much a better kind of pipeline is to just do all this stuff directly in Blender. So anyway, teaching you guys all these techniques for this so you can give it a go, right? So let's go Alt H, no, oops, right, Alt H, Control H. Okay, so I think that all the pieces that I need now are kind of done. So let's just go around and delete all of these ones that we don't need anymore. And I think that things are going to, yeah, speed up a bunch. Right, what do I want to do with the landscapes? I probably need to actually start, you know, kind of putting this stuff in the right spot because it's all over the place at the moment. That one was just a rescaled one, so let's go H, hide that. All right, so we've got wall pieces. What do we got? There's some ground. What is that? I think that's just one of those things. Yeah, I know what that is. All right, let's hide that because I don't need that either. Oh, did I think I just hid that, didn't I? Alt H. It's not hide. I actually want to delete these guys. Delete. Delete. And we've got our kind of, yeah, we've got this bit here. I'm just going to leave this for now. We'll keep working on sort of fixing all of this up. But I'm just going to move all of this around somewhat. Just got to try and select it without selecting that. Without selecting the ground. Shift click that one off. Oh no, oh no. Got that one there, that one. All right, and let's just put this back here because that was my original kind of idea with this like composition, is we're kind of like down in here somewhere, right? So we're looking across over here. So I think if I start kind of designing this so it's like fitting on the, we'll just have to get all these bits. We'll worry about getting all these bits in the ground in a little bit. All right. But let's go back and start to work on, start getting this layout working again. So I think I know I had this up as like kind of a reference. So just going to put this on another screen. So I'm going to see it over here. Just really quickly. Into Blender. Let's get this in the ground. Got so much stuff in here. Too many like showing you guys things and then not deleting it. All right. Oh, it could be raised up a bit because we might add other bits of ground and blah blah blah, whatever. Anyway, all right. So we got this guy here. Let's shift. Let's Alt D. Move this across. Scale that down. Sometimes tricky to get them just sitting in the right space there. Something like that. The other thing I've got to kind of bear in mind is the actual layout of the thumbnail that I did, because I actually don't think I want this around this way. But anyway, we'll see. I'm going to just lay this out. see what happens. All right, what do we got here? Let's move this guy around a bit. It's always tricky getting these things sitting in the ground. Sometimes you'll like render them and it's like, oh, there's a shadow under there. Whoops. So I'm going to go Alt D, right? Hit Escape. Going to go Control M for mirror and mirror along the the Y. No, I have to retexture it, don't I? All right. Anyway, that's all good. So that's in there, and then I can duplicate over that over there. See how those shapes are kind of going. Alt D across. And kind of like before, once we get a layout, then we can kind of do that like randomize. And because now all this stuff's kind of like texture and stuff, it's going to look pretty cool, I reckon. And then we can just go in and fix UVs and stuff wherever you kind of need to. Alt D. That guy like over there. Alt D to get some light walls. Where are you? Make sure they're sitting in the ground. It's fiddly. Oh, what's going on there? It's not snapping. See that we are getting some nice little land kind of changes in here, which is pretty cool. So let's go Shift D, Escape, Control M for mirror, Y. Let's move that across. Escape. Oh, hang on. Didn't mean to do that. Control M. Y. And then we just want to flip this one again. Control M. C. Y. No. No. We just have to rotate it. Oh, hit Escape. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Rotate 180-ish. Doesn't really matter too much because not everything has to be kind of square on at all. Right, let's go D. Oop. yeah, and just start putting some of these bits around. You can see here, like I said, I don't have too many like kind of houses and things, so yeah, we need to maybe work on that. But I can start getting sort of a layout going on, roughly. We got walls all over the place. Alt D. So let's use this one a bit like I had before, just like kind of flattening this way out and using it as some sort of like rock, not rock, like sort of paving. Paving on the ground. Oops. Alt D. Just messing around with that, but we can do more of that sort of moving forward. And you can be sort of like adding in stairs, like, you know, all sorts of things. Oops. Some other wall pieces here that are hidden. Does that come through that? It's weird. Oh, because they're off the ground as well. All right. All right. So yeah, if we sort of start thinking about this, as this type of thing. All right, you know what? Let's get a camera in here just so we've got it. All right. Do I even have a camera? I may have a camera. Where is it? Where are you? You can just type it in here. All right, we'll select our camera and we want to go into the main thing you got to do here with the camera is lock camera to view, and then let's not do that yet. Let's just work out where on earth the camera is. Where is the camera? Camera. It's a little ways away. Oh. If I hit S, I think this will like scale the actual like camera bitty bobby up. I don't know why that's. I have no idea where this is in space at the moment. Okay, still looking at some water somewhere. Alright, so it's way over here. Let's bring it in. Sorry guys. Oh, still. Okay, feel like we're getting there. Yeah. Yeah. You over there somewhere. All right, let's go back to camera. Hopefully we can. Yeah. Okay. So if we go back to the camera now, click lock camera to view, and then hopefully we can. Oh, hang on. We're here somewhere. Where is everything? Oh my god. We're still miles away. We're in the water. Let's try this. I've always had varying results with this, so Control-Alt-0. Maybe I have to lock camera into view. Control-Alt-0. No. Ugh. Uh-oh. I don't know what I did here. Okay. We'll get that. We're trying. I'm trying. Alright. We're upside down. Upside down. Rotate that around. Let's look down there somewhere. No, we're still not looking at stuff. I don't know what we're doing. Maybe the clip. Okay. That's why, hey. Good thinking, Nathan. Change the clip end on the camera, on the actual camera. All right, now let's look through the camera. Oh, Nathan, you're a genius. Good work. Oops. Let's not do that. All right, now let's lock the camera to view. Oh. Uh-oh. Whoa. We're failing. What happened then? Why are you doing this? So I might need to reset this camera. Let's just, you know what? Let's delete this camera and let's Shift A, add in a camera, and let's see what this camera is going to do. All right. Lock camera to view. And then we should be able to kind of like navigate around, and we're like, oh, we need to rotate. There must be some like scale issue going on here. I don't know how I fix that. If anyone's got any ideas. Okay. Let's like try and rotate this and get ourselves out of the water. All right. 5 years later. And a lot of noisy mouse scrolling. All right, still got that clip end because I made a new camera, so just a few extra zeros. Yay, they'll be able to see. Oh man, that took some time, didn't it? All right, but now we're looking through the camera. Here we go. Here we go. All right, let's maybe make it like 35 mil. All right, something like that. Let's go lock camera to view. Just go in a little bit. Lock camera to view. All right, and then basically once you like, if you want to go out of that camera, like you just turn it off, right? Turn lock camera to view, and then you can sort of rotate around it, right? And that'll help. And then basically you can just navigate back through cameras, which is pretty cool. So let's just do like a quick little render here. Just a little render test. I've got pretty much like everyone these days seems to have the physical atmosphere and plugin that you can get from Blender. Like that's a pretty kind of like expensive plugin, I suppose. It's like $35 US or something, but it's super good. So basically, like with the lighting at the moment, remember how I've been doing that with the HDRI. So I'll show you guys this. So if I I've got this plugin. So I didn't go through that. So basically, if you download the plugin, right, the physical starlight and atmosphere Gumroad, go there, you can buy it, right? And then you go edit, preferences, add-ons, and you install the add-on. You install the whole zip file. So that's something I had to kind of work out how to do. So you just you don't unzip it or anything. You just install the zip file, and then basically it will come in. Just go cancel, and there'll be one called, if you type in Atmos, you'll see lighting atmosphere, and you just turn that on and save your settings, right? Just go down here and save preferences, all right? And then basically you'll have this kind of this toolbar here, which is, it says atmosphere. Now, when I click this, it's basically gonna swap the whole lighting system from what I've got to a whole new system, right? So if I click that, right, I'm gonna here, there we go. So basically like we've changed this whole kind of lighting setup that we've got going on, but it's really cool, and you can check out on YouTube. There's some tutorials of how you kind of get that to work and everything. So yeah, it's great. So essentially what I want to do is just add a bit of like elevation here, and it will basically kind of like turn on the light somewhat, and maybe like, let's make it 20, whatever you kind of want to do. And then we can start sort of rotating the sun around the place, right, and getting some pretty cool results. You can play around with the shadow settings and yeah, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, but it's pretty cool. So you can change all sorts of stuff on here, but yeah, you get your light kind of set up how you want it. But yeah, it works pretty cool. So you can see here, like, you know, starting to head in a reasonable direction here. Probably gonna have to go into like render settings here. Let's make this like, you know, 300 or something, and it's just gonna keep rendering this out. But yeah, so so I'm a bit sorry about last week. I was like in a, you know, drunken state of illness, right? But yeah, you can sort of see where this is starting to head. So definitely like heading in a good direction. I don't know what happened with my materials down here, but we'll sort that out. Anyway, yeah, but so the next step now, right, is to kind of start matching this up to that original composition, right? Which was sort of choosing was this one here. So yeah, just kind of matching up. So you can see at the moment, like, it's not really matching up. Maybe this area down here could be the could be that main kind of focal point that I want to add, but I want to add in like a lot of scaffolding, get all these bits and pieces working, yeah, and sort of start playing around the rocks and getting all the land. Like, there's still a fair bit to go, right? But yeah, we're definitely like kind of getting there, and obviously, you know, showing you guys how to do stuff in Blender is taking some time, sort of like, you know, kind of mucking around doing things. But yeah, you can see kind of the direction that is starting to head, right? So I guess from the next step from here, I want to do that randomized transform and start getting some other, like, you know, those buildings happening, how last week we had them, and it was like kind of stretching them and making them taller and smaller and all that kind of stuff. So that was really cool. So I still want to do that and really build up this kind of like city component, and potentially making some more little kind of like medieval style, you know, buildings, little, yeah, so that we can get some more buildings to contrast against all the big, you know, walls and temple-y bits, because I think that'd be pretty good too. So yeah, all right. So I think we're heading in a good direction. If you want, try and get that physical atmosphere plugin for Blender. Yeah, work on like your texturing, maybe recreate some of those the more simpler buildings that you made in 3D Coat across into Blender, and get the UV textures working better on there. And see how you go with that stuff. All right, so that's kind of it, and we'll see you guys again next week. Okay, bye guys.